Life often brings us face to face with an undeniable truth. People come and go. We bond with others, forge deep connections, and frequently anchor our sense of self to those relationships. Yet, what happens when those bonds begin to fray? How do you carry the emotional weight when someone no longer occupies the same space in your life? Or when you realize they never shared the same level of emotional investment as you? You might ask yourself, how do I stop caring? Or can I truly detach emotionally without losing a piece of myself? This is where Stoicism, and particularly the profound wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, offers us a path forward. The Stoics were masters at understanding human emotion, not by suppressing it, but by learning how to balance its grip on our lives. Emotional detachment isn't about becoming cold or indifferent. It is about regaining the power to act with clarity and inner peace. In this article, I will guide you through 5 timeless Stoic rules for detaching emotionally, using the insights of Marcus Aurelius as our beacon. This is not mere theory. It is practical wisdom designed to reshape the way you engage with yourself and others. Rule 1. Understand the impermanence of life. Marcus Aurelius famously reminded us, everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. When it comes to emotional attachments, we often cling to our personal narrative of someone, a story we've woven about their importance in our world. But the reality is that all relationships are transient. One moment you are close, the next they are gone, whether through physical distance, death, or the slow, quiet fade of intimacy. While this may seem bleak, it is the Stoics' first rule of detachment: embrace impermanence. When you realize that no connection is guaranteed forever, you become more conscious of the present moment. Think of it like holding a handful of sand. The tighter you squeeze, the quicker it slips through your fingers. This is a natural law of life. The more we try to possess someone, the faster they fade. In my own life, I once held on to a friendship that spanned over a decade. We shared dreams, fears, and countless late-night conversations. Yet, as time passed, things changed. I resisted the distance, but the more I struggled, the more the relationship became a chain, binding me to someone who no longer reciprocated that connection. It wasn't until I accepted that the friendship had run its course that I could finally release that weight. As Marcus Aurelius would advise, accept that things will end, and you will suffer significantly less when they do. Rule 2. Master your emotions through rational thought. There is a common, often harmful, tendency to believe that emotions control us. When you are deeply attached to someone, feelings of pain, sadness, and anger arise naturally. However, here is the hard truth. Emotions are not reality. They are the products of your thoughts, beliefs, and interpretations. Marcus Aurelius and his contemporaries lived by a core principle. We are not at the mercy of our emotions. Our emotions are at the mercy of our thoughts. Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Emotional detachment begins with the realization that your mind can govern your state of being. Let's say you are going through a breakup. You are shattered, replaying conversations, and overanalyzing every detail. The Stoic response is to shift focus. Instead of letting your emotions run rampant, ask, what are the facts here? How can I view this differently? You must choose thoughts that liberate you from suffering rather than fueling it. Consider how we often interpret silence. You send a heartfelt message to a loved one, and hours pass with no reply. Your mind immediately spirals. Did I say something wrong? Do they not care about me? Your heart races, and anxiety builds. But the fact remains, they haven't responded. Everything else, their supposed indifference, their anger, is pure speculation. Challenge these automatic reactions. As I once learned when a friend stopped responding, the emotional storm I was enduring existed entirely within my own head. By choosing rational observation over narrative, you reclaim your peace. Rule 3. Practice negative visualization. At first glance, negative visualization sounds counterintuitive. Why would you deliberately imagine losing someone you love? Doesn't that invite stress? On the contrary, this Stoic exercise is a powerful tool for building emotional resilience. It is not about becoming a pessimist. It is about preparing your mind for the reality of loss so that, should it occur, it does not shatter you. Marcus Aurelius advised, Do not disturb yourself by imagining the whole of your life's troubles at once. Rather, as each arises, meet it with calmness. By visualizing the absence of those we hold dear, we learn to appreciate their presence in the present moment. I practiced this when a best friend moved overseas. Instead of suppressing my fear of the separation, I leaned into it. I imagined my life without their immediate presence, how I would build new routines and find joy in other areas of my life. When the move finally happened, I wasn't blindsided by crushing grief. I was prepared. When you stop demanding that life be permanent, you stop feeling entitled to control it. You begin to love more freely because you are no longer operating from a place of fear. Rule 4. Focus on what you can control. One of the most empowering realizations in Stoicism is the distinction between what is within our control and what is not. In relationships, we often suffer because we try to micromanage outcomes, other people's feelings, or their future actions, all of which are completely outside our sphere of influence. Emotional detachment, in this sense, is letting go of the need to dictate the behavior of others. You cannot force someone to love you, appreciate you, or stay by your side. The only thing you truly control is your own response. I once spent an entire relationship exhausted by the effort of trying to keep things together, constantly adjusting my behavior to earn affection. The moment I shifted my focus to my own integrity and actions, the anxiety evaporated. I realized that my self-worth was not a commodity for them to validate. When you place your emotional well-being in your own hands, you stop being a prisoner to someone else's moods. This is emotional autonomy, the understanding that your happiness is an internal construct, independent of external circumstances. Rule 5. Reflect on the bigger picture. When you are deeply entangled in the drama of a relationship, it is easy to lose perspective. Stoicism encourages us to take a view from above, to look at the grander scheme of existence. Ask yourself, will this pain matter in 5 years? Does this specific person define the entirety of my existence? Usually, the answer is no. By zooming out, you realize that your distress is tied to a temporary circumstance within a vast, ongoing narrative. You have survived difficult storms before, and you will survive this one. The Stoics remind us that everything, relationships, emotions, moments, is transient. This isn't meant to be depressing, it is liberating. By seeing your life as a wide, interconnected web of experiences, you free yourself from the tunnel vision that emotional attachment creates. Ultimately, emotional detachment is not about becoming a person of apathy. It is about building a foundation of resilience. It is the wisdom to know that while you cannot control the tides of life, you can certainly learn how to sail. If you feel yourself gripping too tightly to someone or something, ask yourself, do I control my emotions, or do they control me? Emotional freedom truly belongs to those who learn the art of letting go.